Patrick Hutzel from IntensiveCareHotline.com, where we instantly improve the lives for families of critically ill patients in intensive care so that you can make informed decisions, have peace of mind, real power, real control, and so that you can influence decision making fast, even if you're not a doctor or a nurse in intensive care. This is another episode of Your Questions Answered, and in last week's episode I answered another question from one of my clients, and the question in the last episode was, Dad has left ICU and is in step down. Now they try and push us out to a nursing home instead of neuro rehabilitation. Please help. You can check out last week's episode by clicking on the link below this video. In this week's episode of Your Questions Answered, I want to continue answering the next questions regarding James and Christine's dad in ICU, who's had a hemorrhagic stroke. James and Christine's dad had a brain decompression where they evacuated the large bleed from his brain after the hemorrhagic stroke. And their dad also underwent a craniectomy, which is a partial removal of the skull to decrease the brain pressures after the bleed. James and his sister Christine were getting their dad in one of the best hospitals in the United States, the Cleveland Clinic in Ohio. In the meantime, their dad was getting a tracheostomy because he couldn't be weaned off the ventilator and the breathing tube. He also had a PEG tube for feeding inserted. He also had ongoing seizures due to the stroke, and his anti-seizure medications needed to be optimized so he could wake up and progress to neurology rehab. In today's one-on-one consulting and advocacy sessions with James and his sister Christine, we look at some setbacks their dad is going through. He had to be put back on the ventilator due to a pneumonia, and he also ended up with a central line and arterial line again. In the meantime, he has then again come off the ventilator but still needed the tracheostomy after about 5 weeks in ICU. This series of one-on-one consulting and advocacy sessions with Christine and James is a real testimony for getting advice, run with it, and get results. If you want to avoid LTAC or long-term acute care and a nursing home for your loved one, you need to read or watch all of the videos of this consulting and advocacy sessions with James and Christine. So in today's episode of Your Questions Answered, I answer a series of questions from James and his sister Christine again, and they're all excerpts from various one-on-one phone and email consulting and advocacy sessions with me. And the topic this week as part of this series of one-on-one consulting and advocacy session with me is, Dad's going to step down after 5 weeks in ICU. Where should he go next? You can also read or watch previous episodes of this series of one-on-one consulting and advocacy with James and Christine by clicking on the links below this video. And if you are watching this on YouTube, please click on the link below this video. It'll get you to our website where you can read this one-on-one consulting and advocacy session. Thank you. So, how can you become the best advocate for your critically ill loved one? How can you make informed decisions, get peace of mind, control, power, and influence quickly whilst your loved one is critically ill in intensive care? You will get to that all-important feeling of making informed decisions, get peace of mind, control, power, and influence when you download your free Instant Impact Report now by entering your email below. In your free Instant Impact Report, you will learn quickly how to make informed decisions, get peace of mind, real power, and real control, and how you can influence decision-making fast whilst your loved one is critically ill in intensive care. Your free Instant Impact Report gives you in-depth insight that you must know whilst your loved one is critically ill or is even dying in intensive care. Sign up and download your free Instant Impact Report now by entering your email below. In your free Instant Impact Report, you will learn how to speak the secret intensive care language so that the doctors and the nurses know straight away that you are an insider and that you know and understand what's really happening in intensive care. In your free report, you will also discover how to ask the doctors and the nurses the right questions. Discover the many competing interests in intensive care and how your critically ill loved one's treatment may depend on those competing interests. How to eliminate fear, frustration, stress, struggle, and vulnerability even if your loved one is dying. You will get 5 mind-blowing tips and strategies helping you to get on the right path to making informed decisions, get peace of mind, control, power, and influence in your situation. You will get real-world examples that you can easily adapt to your critically ill loved one's situation. How to stop being intimidated by the intensive care team and how you will be seen as equals. You will get crucial behind-the-scenes insight so that you know and understand what's really happening in intensive care and how you need to manage doctors and nurses in intensive care, and it's not what you think. Thank you for tuning into this week's Your Questions Answered episode, and I'll see you again next week in another update. Make sure you also check out our blog section for more tips and strategies, or simply send me an email to support@intensivecarehotline.com with your questions. Also, have a look at our membership site intensivecaresupport.org for families in intensive care. You can also call me, find international phone numbers on the top of the website. Also, have a look at our ebook section where you get more ebooks, videos and audio recordings, and where you can also get one-on-one consulting and advocacy with me via Skype over the phone and via email by clicking on the relevant tabs on the top of the website. This is Patrick Hutzel from intensivecarehotline.com, and I'll see you again next week in another update.